When you see this image, what do you think of? The fog in the background is already enough to creep most of us out. The scariest part, however, was when we noticed the creepy figure lurking in the fog. This is Herobrine, one of Minecraft's most famous creepypastas. You've probably heard of it before, but where did it really come from? What is the story behind this creepy image? In August of 2010, when Minecraft was still in its alpha phase, a user posted this original Herobrine image on 4chan. The user claimed that this figure was lurking in the dense fog that surrounded him and was modifying the world in many different ways. The figure had no name tag and seemed to not want to directly hurt the player. The changes it made to the world included 2x2 tunnels through hills, small sand pyramids in the ocean, and trees with all of their leaves cut off. What made this more creepy, however, was that according to the OP, this world was single player. This original post, however, was deleted. Follow-up posts then went on to claim that the OP received a private message from a person by the name of Herobrine telling them to stop. When they went to check Herobrine's profile, the page led to a 404. After some further digging, some other players were curious about this name. They discovered that it was commonly used by a Swedish gamer, Notch's brother. The original user then emailed Notch, asking if Herobrine was his brother. Notch responded, but only with the brief and mysterious statement, "I did, but he is no longer with us." So does this mean that Herobrine is actually a ghost? After this creepy encounter, the user logged back into that same world, and stated that they haven't seen the figure since that encounter. Also, no changes were made to the world other than the changes that the user made from then on. In many of the earlier Minecraft update logs, there was an indication that Herobrine had been removed. But what could this mean? Is Herobrine dead now? Or will there one day be a higher quality video showing this infamous creepypasta? In April of 2024, a user on Discord sent a message claiming that their friend had found a creepy Minecraft version installed on a used computer. The user then posted a download link to this installation, which was called 1.6.5 Cancelled. If we go to the Minecraft launcher, we can see that there is no official release 1.6.5, so this could be the scrapped version of a possible release, or something more sinister. Typically, when a Minecraft version opens, it uses a .jar file on a Java edition. This version, however, appeared to be a .exe file. There was also a file which was called README, which basically stated how this update was meant to be a secret Halloween release, but appeared to have a lot of strange bugs that occurred in single player and multiplayer. It went on to read that one of the employees had serious computer problems. A blue screen of death occurred while playing this version, after which the computer no longer started up. Once you join a server in this version of the game, you'll start to come across half-chopped trees and crosses made of leaves. These crosses appear in a biome known as Nebulim's Forest. Chunks also appear to be replaced and modified in real time. Cave noises will also play frequently, even when you think you're safe on the surface. These cave noises may also indicate that Leggy or Nebelium are about to emerge. Leggy and Nebelium are two of the entities that exist within this version of Minecraft. Leggy is a 5-block tall faceless entity that looks like a messed up version of Steve. He appears to be the main character and will spawn in randomly. Once he spawns in, however, he behaves similarly to Herobrine. He will teleport near the player and watch them. If the player does not keep their distance, however, and approaches Leggy, he disappears and the screen glitches and plays a loud glitchy noise. Nebelium is a tall creature, somewhat resembling a messed up Enderman. He appears more frequently in biomes with crosses. Coming across Nebelium is rare, and there are signs that you will begin to see if you are near him. If your FPS suddenly drops, and you begin to see headless animals, he may be nearby. Similarly to Leggy, if you approach Nebelium, your screen will glitch out and a loud glitchy noise will deafen you. At some point while playing, the game will replace both of these entities with another creature, known as Redface. Redface looks like a damaged version of Leggy. However, don't be fooled by his creepy appearance. He hasn't been documented to hurt anyone. Redface behaves similarly to Leggy, but instead of glitching the screen when a player finds him, he just teleports away quietly. There are also reports that this Minecraft version has the ability to change your wallpaper. There are two reported versions of this wallpaper change. The first is a distorted red photo with two girls in it. Their faces are not detailed and you can only see two black holes where their eyes should be. The second photo is more of a red mess that doesn't really depict anything specific. It has text in the bottom middle that when translated from Caesar's cipher, reads, "Don't think you'll be unpunished," leading to questions of if this version could also be malware or not. To me, this sounds like a sort of glitched mod that someone coded on purpose to mess up others' computers. When I think of a .exe file, also known as executable file, I imagine many different types of malware. There are different types of viruses that can be triggered when one runs an executable file. This certainly could also be just another fictional story to draw attention to the user. Whatever it is, it definitely makes us consider what parts of popular games that we play now have been deleted. Have any of these deleted versions contained creepy errors or bugs?
This is the story behind the smiley seeds in Minecraft. This phenomenon is done with unknown seeds that the player never went into detail about, and warn people to not try if they manage to get into them. And all of the seeds seem to have this very face embedded into the terrain, but many players discovered some strange occurrences regarding it. Some players on Minecraft, specifically on Java during its 1.20.5 update, have been noticing a strange occurrence happening on random seeds. Specifically regarding the terrain inside of grassy biomes, people have been discovering a large smiley face somewhere in their world, embedded inside of the ground, grass on top, stone at the bottom, and sometimes flooded. It seems to only appear in naturally generated grassy biomes, as stated earlier, but never near spawn. People only find it through exploration or by accident. When night arrives, some of the mobs, skeletons, creepers, etc. have a small chance to randomly display either a glowing or slightly pixelated smiley face, over or instead of their normal faces. Another occurrence people noticed in the seeds is how, when far away from the smiley face, and when chunks are being loaded in while staring at it, they saw that it frowned for a split second. Additionally, in the chat, a player named Smileyface joined the game despite the seeds appearing on single player, and then leaving afterward with the name changing to Frowny Face instead. There have been attempts to see the player, some even tried heading back to spawn whenever the aforementioned player appeared. These players were never visible. An anonymous player seemed to have encountered this occurrence firsthand. However, the player's post has been deleted for some unknown reason, but has been found somewhere on 4chan, and the following is a repost of the story. I recently got into Minecraft after a boring day of school, and I decided to load into a new world and settle into single player. I hadn't played normal Minecraft for a while. I usually chilled on the servers on multiplayer and played some Hypixel. I didn't bother with the seed and depended on luck, hoping I would be near a village or whatever. My seed was auto-generated, and I loaded in what seemed to be a grassy biome with trees a few blocks away and a village nearby. Jackpot. I decided to head there to steal some items, some food, anything I could find useful, and then murder and hit the villagers for the sake of it. I did the basic Minecraft stuff. I just hit some trees and explored some caves. I always stayed somewhere near the top and never entered the bottom. I didn't care too much for the diamonds and stuff. I just wanted to have fun in the game and not get fancy with any items. Why did I stay so far from the caves and enter them? Well, just like many players, I feared the cave sounds and got out of there whenever they played. Anyway, I crafted my wooden sword, shovel, pickaxe, etc. And then I switched to stone upgrades from the cobblestone I mined, but kept the wooden tools for backup just in case. However, by accident, I came across something embedded in the ground in the terrain. There was what appeared to be a smiley face, grass above, stone at the bottom, and some floods here and there. I thought nothing of it, of course, but I was thinking of using the opening where the mouth is as my little cave system. I got to work regardless and started making my base. Not of the best, of course. I just used the oak from trees I chopped down and the leftover cobblestone for the structure. The cobblestone being the pillars and the roof, I guess, and the oak being the walls. I killed some sheep for their wool and created a bed. I placed it down and added a furnace, my crafting table, and a chest to store my stuff. The basic stuff. Then night came. I wanted to sleep, but there were monsters nearby, and I noticed something peculiar. The friendly mobs, like the sheep, followed me with this smile, and I saw some zombies approaching me. But out of nowhere, they smiled before attacking. Once I killed the zombies and other mobs, ignoring the features on their face, I went to sleep. And when day came, I started venturing off into the distance, somewhere near where the smiley face was in my base. However, when I came back, I saw something strange when the chunk loaded near my base. The smile turned into a frown for a split second before going back to normal. Strange, that's all I could say. This appeared to be just a weird chunk error. I've been playing from alpha to beta, and I've seen a fair share of odd world generations. It wasn't too weird until I saw the chat. A player by the name Smileyface joined the game, then Frownyface left the game afterwards. This was on timing when the smile turned to a frown, and I never got a good look at the supposed player, if it even was one. The next night, the terrain started to regenerate strangely. When I used my hoe to make some of the land into farmland so I can grow and plant crops, no matter how long I decided to wait, nothing happened. When I was blown up by a creeper out of nowhere, the spawn point I was brought to was somewhere else. Out of annoyance, not having the resources to come back there, and how the smiley face was far away in the terrain, I decided to call it quits and load a new world instead. I saw that very same face in the ground, permanently, in every world that I would load. I even used well-known seeds. The exact same thing happened. Then I loaded back onto my first world, and I was generated directly under the player spawn. All of the mobs had smiley faces, and the face never frowned once. Then I was back at my base out of nowhere. Yes, I was happy to be back there again, but the way I was brought there was off. It was like I was teleported there by a player with commands, which shouldn't be possible as this is single player. But one change was made. The smiley face from earlier had lava inside of it, completely filled up. Even more than the water. I mean completely filled to the surface in the eyes and smile. I saved and closed the game, and then I noticed my desktop wallpaper. It was a pixelated frown. Error 777. Error 777 was a creepy version released privately and quickly got leaked a year after. It was found on a Game Jolt page and slowly started spreading on YouTube. Error 777 appears to be a glitchy Minecraft version. After you boot up the game, there are 4 options: single player, multiplayer, options, and quit game. After clicking single player, the game completely locks you from doing anything with the world. The only thing you can do is change the name, that's it. After joining, there appears to be a bug, maybe on purpose. There's about an 80% chance that you spawn in a pool of lava because the world generation is so buggy. After finally succeeding to get a world without spawning me in lava, I started grabbing wood and making a house. When I looked up, I turned my render distance up. I saw that the clouds were black, and it made the world shake around because of a lot of lag. There were also friendly mobs attacking me while I was in my base, and an invisible entity as well that I couldn't determine what it was. If you play for about 20 minutes, your chat will start flooding with these weird messages. It will keep going and going. It won't ever stop. It will only stop when your game fully crashes because of how many messages appear in your chat at once. One other thing is that if you die a single time, you're met with a title screen saying, "It's time to end this game." And there's a D3A option. And if you click it, it shows you this weird command prompt video, and shortly after kicks you out of the game, automatically deleting your world. There is no way to prevent this from happening. Strange music can play at any time as well. When you think of a Minecraft village, you usually think of a place of rest and gathering resources. The villagers there are passive mobs that will even trade with you. You can load up on supplies there by looting their chests, especially the blacksmith's chest. Out of many villagers though, there's bound to be one that's corrupted. In June of 2016, a player by the name of It's DJ Crafter 66 was playing Minecraft with his friend DogDude2005. They were doing the usual stuff that you do on your first day of a new Minecraft server: gathering wood, crafting items, building a house, and smelting ores in a furnace. After a long day of gathering resources, the sun was beginning to set, and the two players began to walk back to their house. All of a sudden, the time changed from dusk to day. DogDude immediately assumed that his friend was messing around with the code and accused him of such. DJ, however, was equally as clueless to how this could have happened and denied the accusation that he had done this. After some back and forth, DJ decided to check the logs of the server. He was shocked to find a command reading VLLR has changed the time to 1000. Up to this point, it had just been DJ and DogDude on the server. DogDude refused to believe what DJ was telling him, but right as he was making these claims, a message popped into the chat from a player named VLLR. The message was not in English and appeared to be in some sort of code. DJ believed that this was in Swedish, since Notch was Swedish, so he typed out the message in Google Translate. This didn't work, but a button popped up underneath asking if DJ wanted to translate this into Bulgarian instead. This led to a rough translation along the lines of, "Do you have a drink?" Most likely, this Viller player was either speaking in some weird code language or was just writing complete gibberish in chat. Viller then wrote another glob of gibberish in the chat before teleporting DogDude to him. This was when DogDude began to write in all caps in chat. Dude, Viller is a villager. He looks like a villager, but with white pupils and black eyes. He's in one of the houses at the village. Viller then banned DogDude from the server. Then, almost as if it was a stunt to build up tension, Viller teleported DJ to himself. DJ could not move his player. Just like that, he was banned too. His game crashed, and when he tried to find the server file to delete the world was already gone. So who is Viller? In the forums of the Minecraft Creepypasta wiki, there are some possible theories. User bgross1 believes that Viller was a librarian named Viller who was corrupted by Herobrine. Viller eventually returns to normal, but flickers back and forth between his regular villager self and his monster self. This would explain the peaceful nature of the server when DJ and DogDude first joined. In my video about Herobrine, however, I noted that it doesn't appear that Herobrine wants to directly hurt the player, at least in the earliest mentions of him.
So why would he corrupt the villager and make him want to hurt the player? Looking deeper into the Minecraft Creepypasta wiki, I found an article about an entity called Herobrine ? This entity is reported to have been created by Entity 303, a disgruntled former Mojang employee who was fired. Herobrine ? Goes around trying to ruin the experience of Minecraft for those who play it. Entity 303's Herobrine is a whole other mystery box that I will open another day with you guys. Where I'm trying to go with this is that it is possible that this theory of Viller being corrupted by Herobrine is true. However, it would not be the original Herobrine. It would be Era 303's version of Herobrine, which is called Herobrine ?